foremost, I would like to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakak Radash. I would also like to give a double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who do well that have taught me this truth. And I would also like to say sincere shalom unto the hopeful elect, unto the scattered elect, unto the brothers, the prophets, the men who are prophesying, laboring in this truth and in this doctrine. Unto you I say shalom. The digital dollars coming to Mexico, all right? And these test runs, or whatever you want to call them, are getting closer and closer to America, all right? And they already have pilot programs of the UBI, the Universal Basic Income. And we know that China is pretty much a model, all right, or a pilot program of the New World Order, all right? But this announcement that the digital currency is moving to Mexico, and you're going to have to pay, I guess, tolls, or I'm gonna read it. It's right here. It says Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, which is a small hat. All right, don't get it twisted. All right, because you got the small hats. They're basically taking over all of Central Mexico, Central and South America. All right, the major, the major countries down there. All right, and if they don't have a president, they have someone, in the cabinet or in the office close by. All right, because these devils, all right, really the wicked elite, they want that ultimate control where they control any and everything that's going in and out. Money, all right, if you if they control the money, they control everything. All right, and that's what they're essentially doing. It's just gradualism. This devil is gradually moving towards this this system. All right, it says Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum announced at the 89th Bank Convention in Cancun that cash payments at gas stations, toll booths will now officially be phased out. Digital payments are set to become mandatory for fuel and tolls by the end of 2026. So this devil is moving fast. All right, and it's Jake down there. It's our people down there that's going to have to conform with this, or not have gas, or not get through the tolls. Our goal this year is to make digital payments mandatory for fuel and tolls through the models we are developing together with the banks. And we know the small hats run all the banks. Scheinbaum said, this is intended to strengthen accessible digital payment methods and drive the country's digitization forward in many other areas as well. And they're going to sell this to the citizens there, the people there, the Jakes down there, the Issacharites down there, that this is something innovative that's going to put our country on a level with these other countries because we have a digital system, we have a digital market, we have a digital currency. The move is part of a bigger push to digitize Mexican economy and reduce reliance on cash. Of course, that's what they want to do, because the no reliance on cash, the more control they have. Let me see. All right, so let me and also I wanted to add, I believe last year they I don't know if they made it mandatory, but they have digital IDs down there in Mexico also. Mexico is implementing the mandatory biometric digital ID system by February 1st, 2026, centering on an upgrade 18-character biometric CURP, unique population registry code. So that's basically your eventually your number that's going to go to your chip. So everything is moving fast, okay? And it says well, it's just this was almost 10 months ago. Mexico makes biometric identifier mandatory for all citizens, and we know there's some citizens that may not have it. But eventually, when the crackdowns come, where you can't go in a store, you can't go here or there, you can't leave the country without showing your digital ID, then people are going to have to make a choice. All right, and it really is going to boil down to the food. All right, like we always say, this devil is coming down with great wrath. Or he's coming down on all the tribes. All right, this is Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. Great wrath. All right, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right, this devil is moving fast. This devil is not wasting any time. All right, by trying to fulfill this new world order. This is Psalms 10:3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetousness for whom the Lord abhorreth. All right, the wicked through his pride in his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. This devil's not thinking about the Most High. He's not thinking that what they're doing is opposed to the Lord. All right, by eventually trying to put a microchip in the whole population, not just in Mexico, but the whole goddamn world. Okay, that's what this devil, that's what his heart desire is, to fulfill their new world order. Okay, to continue their kingdom. All right, to because they act like they don't got an end, but no, you have an end. All right, the kingdom of heaven is the world without end that doesn't have an end. Okay, but that time is coming. All right, where Jake is going to have to choose. We had that hour of temptation. Revelations 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So that hour of temptation is coming, and it's closer than you think. The Lord is speeding up the days for the elect's sake. Let me grab that. Matthew 24 and 20. 20. Yep, 22. And except the days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, because hey, it's for the elect's sake that things are moving fast. All right, that's why time is going by so fast, because for the elect's sake, and these devils are making moves faster and faster. I think let's see if we play it. Los esquemas que trabajemos con la banca. We work with the bank. We make mandatory el pago de las gasolinas y de las payments of gasoline and gas stations digitally. Esto va a permitir it will enable us to boost. Los pagos digitales payments which will enable us to que nos permitan avanzar en la digitalización del país, digitize the country through many other schemes. Yeah, of course, the devil is all he knows how to do is scheme. All right, he's not going to come out and when it comes, they're not going to say, "Hey, this is the mark of the beast." They're going to say, "No, this is a new system where you must conform to this system, or you're not going to eat, or you're not going to be able to go to your job anymore. You're not going to be able to drive a car." Everyday life that you know it is going to be eventually taken from you, eliminated, unless you conform and you get down with this new world order system. And it's that simple. It's going to be, either you're in or you're not. All right, let's get it. Revelations 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And the part of that image is the digital currency, is the digital ID, is the one world government, one world, one world currency, one world health, okay, where they're going to tell you you need these certain shots, all right, or whatever, and your body is going to be monitored through their technology, through the nanobots, all right, but that's all a part of the image of the beast. And of course, the LGBT whole agenda, that's a part of that image. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right, and there's those that's going to be literally be killed for not bowing down to that image, but this also means to be cut off from society. All right, eventually Jake in Mexico is going to be cut off if they fail to comply with the digital ID and the digital currency now. All right. And there are certain places here in Babylon that have the digital ID, but it's not made mandatory. In Mexico, it's made mandatory. And I believe some time ago, the digital ID was made mandatory for government and workers. And that was before it was made mandatory to the actual citizens. All right, verse 16. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, so we understand that mark, the charagma, all right, is a physical mark, all right, and that's going to be placed in your hand. And the majority of Jake, all right, that's damn near all of them is lower class, is going to receive that mark. That the brain chip is for the higher ups, the rich Edomites, or you could say rich Edomites, or better off Edomites. But that chip is going to be going to be in the masses for the hand, to all the low Jakes, all right? Low Jakes, low Edomites, low heathens, it don't matter. All right, Esau said he wants everyone, rich and poor, free and bond. All right, and that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for the number of a man, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. But the point, verse 17, that no man might buy or sell. This is what a lot of these Israelite groups skip over when they speak on the mark of the beast. All right, they read verse 16 and they don't even get to 17 where it says buying and selling. Buying and selling is one of the main uses for this chip. All right, in this current society is built on buying and selling, trading. All right, you won't be able to do any of that without this chip. All right, without being on their system. All right, and let's get the judgment. All right, because we always talk about the mark. Oh shit, it's like it. Let's get the judgment for that. Okay, because most people think they just going on with their life, and like nah, it's yeah, you're gonna go on with your life, but your life is going. If you thought you was under the curses and your life was jacked up, this devil's going to promise you that it's going to get better, but once you take that and receive this man's mark, it's going to get drastically worse, and then eventually the Lord is going to put you down, put you out of your misery. Revelations 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which shall be poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. The Lamb is Yahawashi. Okay? And you're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone, thermonuclear fire, chariot fire. All right? It's going to, and you're going to remember that. All right? You're going to feel every inch of it. All right? It ain't going to be a quick death. All right? The Lord could slow things down where you can feel every burn of that fire. Okay, that they're going to be tormented. Let's look up this word tormented. Probably torture. It probably goes back to the word torture. Tormented. Tormented. By Cizo, to test the question torture by applying torture to torture. Yeah. All right, the Lord's going to torture you with that fire and brimstone if you take that mark. Okay, and like I said, up to that point, you're going to have what is it? The grievous sore. You're going to have a cancer. All right, so you're going to be jacked up. All right, you're going to be hoping someone put you out of your misery, and then when the time comes, the Lord is, but it's going to torment you. It ain't going to be no quick death. All right, like you see, we always reference Sarah Connor in Judgment Day, Terminator 2, how she burned and it just blows away. Nah, you're gonna feel that burn. All right. So hey, things are moving fast. All right, Mexico moving with the digital currency. Hey, next it could be Canada. Next it could be America. All right, but things are moving fast, and we're waiting and hoping. All right, hastening into the day that Yahawashi, brings forth all these prophecies. All right, we're hoping that some type of something happens. All right, to fast forward and make things happen even faster. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the hopeful elect. I would like to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Habakkuk, Shalom.